saw at UFC 230 what the last style bender can do. Israel Adesanya, as Dana White would say, is the future. Israel Adesanya is 29 years old and holds a spotless record of 15 wins with 0 losses, and he is 4-0 in the UFC, with his last victory being the most impressive, a first-round stoppage of Derek Brunson. The question is, where does this kid stop? Where does his potential stop? Truthfully, if you ask me, I think we're just getting glimpses of how good this guy really is. One question that can still be asked and justified is, how good is his takedown defense and how good is his actual ground game? We haven't really got to see any of his ground game, but as for his takedown defense, well, in the fight against Derek Brunson took one too many knees to realize I should not be trying to take this guy down, and Brad Tavares experienced the same thing. Every time he tries to go for a takedown, Adesanya would respond with a vicious knee. So the question is, who is next for Israel Adesanya? Would it be Paulo Costa? Would it maybe be Yoel Romero? What about Luke Rockhold? Or Jacare Souza, right? Jacare would make sense. They both fought on the same card, same night. Both phenomenal appearances, performances. But the fight that's been circling around and the fight that I would be most interested in is Israel Adesanya facing former welterweight contender Darren Till in Darren Till's first appearance at 185. Now, for those who are unaware, Darren Till is a UK sensation from Liverpool. He, in his last appearance, fought for the welterweight title against Tyron Woodley, where he lost in the second round due to a Bravo choke, in a fight that a lot of people thought Darren Till would have the upper hand, potentially overlooking the strength and just the skill set of Tyron Woodley. We know that Darren Till is a massive 170-pounder. Even when he squared off against Tyron Woodley, the height difference was just enormous. Standing at 6 feet tall, only at 25 years of age, I mean, Joe Rogan has even said on his podcast that every time you cut weight, it gets harder. Because it's not the fact that your body adapts to cutting weight, it's that your body refuses to put itself through that time and time again. We know that in Darren Till's fight before Tyron Woodley, he missed weight against Stephen Wonderboy Thomas, and that weight cut was so daunting that Darren Till, on camera, went blind for a period of time because the weight cut was affecting him so severely. Weight cutting in the UFC is an enormous problem. There's people who have to pull out of fights last minute because of liver damages. There's people that push themselves to levels that they really shouldn't push themselves to. And the factor with weight cutting is you lose lots of power and your ability to perform on fight night. Darren Till, although he weighed at 169.5 pounds against his championship fight with Tyron Woodley, most certainly went through an excruciating process to get to that weight. Darren Till has also said that he thinks he may be done at welterweight and opened a challenge at 185 where he doesn't have to make such a drastic cut and where he could appear on fight night more fresh, more powerful, and ready to go. A fight between Israel Adesanya at 29 years old versus Darren Till at 25 years old is, to me, a phenomenal match. Stylebender is slimmer, faster, more technically precise with his strikes, while Darren Till is a thicker fighter. Although he is still precise with his Muay Thai skills, he packs a little bit more punch and just a little bit more viciousness in his strikes. In Stylebender, he utilizes many more knees in applications of the clinch in takedown defense than Darren Till has. However, Darren Till utilizes his long reach, especially in his legs, to distance his opponents and set up his combinations. What I'm trying to say is both these guys are super similar. The main difference is their body frames. One is slimmer, one is just a bit thicker. They're both relatively in the same age department. They're both relatively new stars coming into the UFC. Darren Till, being much younger, experiencing his first loss, may just, if properly trained and properly managed, learn from that experience and make himself 2 times better. While Israel Adesanya has all this hype surrounding himself right now, especially after that victory at UFC 230 over Derek Brunson. This fight would be an enormous fight to make for both competitors, but it has a lot at stake for both as well. If Darren Till loses, that's 2 fights in a row that he's lost in 2 separate divisions, while Israel Adesanya, if he loses this fight, definitely his hype train gets derailed significantly. But I do want to ask you guys, what do you think of this fight? Do you think Israel Adesanya versus Darren Till is the fight to make? Is it a fight that you'd be excited to watch? And if not, comment on who you think Israel Adesanya should fight next, and maybe who you think Darren Till should fight next. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video.